Welcome back to another video. In this video, we are going to break down the cup and handle patterns. We will discuss what is the cup and handle pattern, how to identify and trade the cup and handle patterns, types of cup and handle patterns, and the saucer and rounding bottom pattern. Right, so let's get started. What is a cup and handle pattern? So the cup and handle pattern is a continuation pattern. The cup appears similar to a rounding bottom chart pattern, and the handle is similar to a flag pattern. So basically, this is a continuation pattern, meaning the stock is basically going in an uptrend, takes a break, and during this break period, it formulates the cup and handle pattern, and once it is formulated, it then continues the direction. Now, the reason it's called a cup and handle pattern is because the pattern formulates a similar shape like a cup and handle. So if you look at this right here, it formulates a cup, and then right here you have something called a handle. This is where our focus is, or it's around this point, right? So there's two types of cup and handle patterns. There's a cup and handle pattern, and there's an inverse cup and handle pattern. So let's get right into it. What is a cup and handle? So cup and handle, as I mentioned, is a continuation pattern, meaning the stock is already going in an uptrend. It takes a break, and then it continues the uptrend. The pattern is completed once the stock breaks the handle or the cup starting point level. So this pattern is completed if or when the stock can either A, break this point, or B, once it formulates the handle, which looks very similar to a flag-like pattern. You can see it makes a huge move up, takes a break, and you can either take the trade right there or once it breaks this high, whatever happens, right? That is the cup and handle pattern. This is primarily found on larger time frames, takes weeks to months to form at times. So sometimes this right here could be something that's about 3 months, let's say 6 months, whatever the case is, it could be a long period of time. Here's another example of a cup and handle pattern, right? You can see, let's say the stock is going in an uptrend or it's trading sideways after continuation pattern, continuation move. Stock takes a break, formulates a cup-like formation, forms a flag, which is called the handle, and then once it breaks the handle or once it breaks the top point right here, that's where we would look to enter, right? Once again, entry would be on that break, and then stop could be below that. Depending on the stock, depending on the criteria, depending on what you're looking at, each play will be a little bit different, right? Here's another example. You can see uptrend, takes a break, pulls back, continuation, right? Same thing, continuation. You can see this one got a little bit messy, but same exact concept. The concept is what I want you to know. If a stock makes a move up, it formulates a cup, and you see a handle-like formation, a flag-like formation, same concept, look for an entry point right here. Now, beyond the cup and handle, we have an inverse cup and handle. An inverse cup and handle is the opposite. Stock is on its way down, hits a support level, formulates an inverse cup, hits the same support level, formulates a bear flag, continuation. Right, same thing with this. This is primarily found on larger time frames, takes weeks to months to form at times, but it's the same concept. Right, you can either take the trade once it breaks support or once it breaks the flag pattern, whatever gives you a higher confirmation for that particular play at that time. Here's another example. Stock goes in a downtrend, hits support, bounces, hits support again, formulates a flag, continuation. Once you see that, your entry and stop are right there. Now let's understand the pattern. What's the psychology of the cup and handle pattern? So the psychology of the cup and handle pattern is that stock is going in a certain direction, buying power tends to dry out, right? Buying power dries out, not a lot of buyers are interested. Now what you have to understand is sometimes when the buying pressure dries out, right, for a stock to go down, selling pressure has to step in or buyers get weak. In this situation, people are just not interested in buying. Neither are people interested in aggressively selling, which is why the stock tends to hold its price, right? So the buying power starts drying out. It doesn't necessarily mean that sellers are aggressively stepping in. Now, if the sellers were aggressively stepping in, it would continuously keep going down, volume would be high, all of those things would align. In this situation, it starts getting flat and starts picking up. Now, once it starts picking up, what tends to happen is there's a lot of people that probably shorted here. There's a lot of people that got trapped here. So if the stock is able to go above that level, these people are now exiting, they're taking profits or they're covering their short position. Or if it doesn't directly just go up, another thing that can happen or does happen is when it pulls back, more people start stepping in, they take profits, or people start shorting. Weak hands get shaken out, and then boom, this breakout showcases the continuation. So understanding the formation is very important, and just understand it's not always going to give you perfect cup-like examples, right? You're not going to see perfect cups, you're not going to see perfect handles. It's going to be very, very messy. So understanding the idea behind it is the most important part. Now, besides the cup and handle pattern, we have something called a saucer rounding bottom pattern. Some people call it a saucer pattern. Some people call it a rounding bottom pattern. If you look here, you can see stock got rejected at this point. This was in like July, right? From July all the way to like about 1 to 2 years, stock stayed flat. Look at volume. Volume stayed flat. After 2 years, volume kicks in, stock price starts going up. Now, if the stock can A, break this point, that's usually a good trade over there. Or B, usually when volume kicks in here, you can look to take a trade, write it for maybe $1 to $2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, whatever the case is, right? But you have to understand, for these plays to work out, you need a catalyst. You need some sort of juice behind the play. There needs to be something pumping this up. There needs to be some sort of news, some sort of catalyst that's driving this stock up. A stock is just not randomly going to go up. It needs something to push it. So if there's news and catalyst and price action is showcasing that, and price action is confirming that there's a move behind this and there's something actually fueling this play, that will give you a higher probability, right? You can see it sold off for whatever reason it sold off. You can see buying pressure dried out. Stock held flat for a very long time and then finally started picking up, and boom, that's where you can enter, or you can enter right there. And if you look at this entry from 6 to 14, over 100% play in a few months, right? And look at the volume that's showcasing it, and everything is working phenomenal with this, right? Let's look at another example. Same thing. Look at this. Bottoms out, goes all the way from 20 to about $2.14, right? For this stock, TNDM, if you guys want, you can look for 2018, May, April. There was catalyst with the diabetes pump. You can look into it if you want, just for practice purposes. There was catalyst around this area, right? Beyond catalyst, you can see volumes kicking in, and then even if you don't take the trade here and you're kind of afraid, the entry could be once it gets to that area of the rounding bottom fallout, right? So if this is where it fell out, you can look to take an entry over there. And even if you look to get an entry over there, $22, $25, it still made a huge run to 50, about 100% move up. Same concept. But once again, you need to have catalyst here to actually take advantage of the play.